ecosystem-wise, Malaysian government did a lot of initiative to actually pull everything together. We've seen a lot of creations in terms of the hardware, R&D company coming up, which is, I think, that is the future. Malaysian startup have a mindset of being educated in such a way that you need to be number one at some place, then only you start moving on. Unlike a lot of startups that I have come across that venture into Malaysia.
I'm about to have a meeting with the founder of Blue Duck.
It'd be nice, like, if we can start with your background.
I started my career in bank, then doing the commercial loan, so commercial credits. Then after that, then I ventured into life insurance industry as a advisor, as an insurance planner. Then after 10 years plus, then I felt it's time to move on. Then I was searching for opportunities. Then in the middle, I started a couple of ventures myself as well. Then I bumped into these solutions I shared with you on in US, in Europe, that is rental solutions to replace the rental deposits. And I was thinking myself that maybe this is a good solution. And it happened to be at the time when I collecting my first investment house for rental, to rent out. Then I was like, I'm thinking, rental deposit is the craziest problem in Malaysia. So it's expensive. An average tenant in Malaysia, right, they are paying 40% of their income for the rent. So just imagine every month you collect your 100% of the income, 40% goes to the rent. Then I was thinking that there must be a way to overcome this one. So I searched in the market, there's no such product. That's how I start speaking to insurance company. We need a product to sell it to the public. And that's how I got my idea. And fast forward, this is the third year, and this year we start to underwrite ourselves. Because we have 2 years of data records, we know what works, what's not working, so we start to underwrite ourselves, and yeah.
Did your banking background, is it helping you, or come up with this idea and working on it?
Yes, because I like to study. I like to understand how the banks and the insurance company earns their money and how they develop the business, right? So the business itself is a risk business, a risk-based business. If you manage the risk well, and the business will prosper, right? And the bank doesn't sell only one product; they sell multiple products. So, and the insurance company also doing the same thing. So when I start this company, then I imagine myself in the next 5 years or 10 years later, I will become one of them as well. Yeah, so they also teach me a lot of guide me in terms of how you manage the risk and how you mitigate the risk.
Did you always want to become an entrepreneur, or?
I think it's a natural course, so maybe because I see a lot of opportunity in Malaysia, right? There's a lot of businesses that prosper and grow and out of Malaysia, and a lot of companies from overseas that's doing something cool for the society. And that's why I'm thinking if we be able to find a solutions, right, that can cater for a certain group of people, then we'll be able to have a good business. My grandparents also do a little bit of small business.
Oh, really?
My father also run an insurance agency himself also. Maybe that also tells me working for others might not be the only solutions. Yeah.
Is it common here? Entrepreneurship?
I think quite common. But the entrepreneurship here is more to selling intermediaries. So it's you get a product and then you sell. So it's easier. I mean, not easier, but in terms of the commitment of your time and effort, right? In Malaysia, that's well received. Especially you see a lot of agents network. Right? A lot of agents network are here. So that is usually people doesn't want to go for a 9 to 5. They'll come up as an entrepreneur to work for insurance or property agents. But I think the new generation, they are no longer work in this area. They're more to YouTuber.
How's the startup scene in Malaysia? Is it booming or emerging or?
I think booming, yes. I think it's getting better in terms of the ecosystem, right? The ecosystem-wise, Malaysian government did a lot of initiative to actually pull everything together. We have a lot of agency, different government agency to cater for different kind of group of startups.
Oh, really?
From the early stage through the mature stage, right? And and then they provide a lot of resources, they provide a lot of guidance, they provide a lot of avenues, platforms for the startups to venture into, so that when they doesn't know what they do, right? Like when you're starting your own company, at the time a lot of things that you think you know because you see someone doing it, but when you're actually doing it at the time, it's crazy, right? There's a lot of rules and regulations, there's a lot of statutory responsibility. So those are the things that the government will be able to assist you in terms of guiding you and then giving you opinions, giving you some ideas, right? And then connect you to the corporates, connect you to a lot of different kind of networks that they have. That actually helps to a lot of startups to have more confidence in their journey. Yeah. And recently there's a lot of local VC that actually got matured.
Really?
So along the years they've invested a lot of startups, so they are more matured in guiding the startups, in helping the startups to go from idea stage to maybe a seed stage, to help them to raise funds, help them to perfect the pitch, perfect that. And I think that's important.
This is because like were there like many like success cases coming from like Malaysia already? Like
yes, a lot of different kind of startups that is doing great, doing well, but they are not as good as the other startups in overseas for promoting themselves. There are a lot of great startups from Aerodyne, one of the great startups, and of course Kaza, of course previously is Grab. Then we have a lot of other startups. And then in terms of expansion wise, I think Malaysian startups need to be more aggressive in terms of expanding to other countries. Once you venture into other countries, the whole promotion level will be another level. People know us.
why wouldn't people expand to like Singapore is close and you can always take a bus to Singapore.
Yeah, that was always the case with Malaysian startups. Cross the streets, then you go to Singapore and start up a company.
Yeah.
And Singapore got different kind of resources for startups as well compared to Malaysia's government. I think we can. I think definitely we can. But Singapore is not for our business. Singapore is not our priority. It's not a priority. And then the population there and the environment there might not be suitable for us here. Yeah. But for other startups, I think most of them wanted to, but maybe the lack of the connectivity.
I see.
Yeah.
Is it hard to connect to people?
I guess it's they have to actively go and search for the connections. And actively search for the connections, go overseas for the exhibitions to meet more people.
Yeah, because I'm asking this because for example, like Grab, like they're like a Malaysian company.
Correct.
But they moved during the seed stage or something to Singapore and things like that. And I was just wondering there are many companies that are like that.
It's a different kind of reason why they go there for a lot of reasons. Some I heard is because of the investor maybe from Indonesia or European. They prefer their HQ to be. They prefer the startup HQ to be in Singapore rather than Malaysia for whatever reason. Yeah. So that's why they would like to move there because of the funding size there is higher. Malaysia is much higher. So that is a disadvantage of the Malaysian company.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I see.
But overall, I think Malaysian startup industry are getting much better. Much more in terms of ideas type, from service oriented to a lot of creations. We've seen a lot of creations in terms of the hardware R&D company coming up, which is I think that is the future.
Really?
Especially the agriculture side. Yeah.
It's like Deep Tech and R&D pretty.
Now we start seeing those companies that the startups from that segment, the Deep Tech, the R&D segment, start popping up. And a lot of government initiatives to push for the university to go for the R&D and JV with the individual or private sector. And that could propel a lot of different kind of technology coming in.
You told me about how you're interested in going overseas as well. But I know your business is pretty. It's really important to focus in the local areas as well, especially because it could be a pretty traditional business, I guess.
Traditional. Not. In a way, yes. In a way, yes. Because we're in the risk business. We're in the risk business. When we go overseas, the time, for example, if let's say we go to Thailand, then when we venture into Thailand, the time we need a local partner, right? That will be easier. To localize the content, localize the the whole process will work. But the key technology comes from us in terms of the risk, in terms of the calculation, in terms of the management side. Yeah, so when we go, that time will be much easier. Right? So we just bring our technology, bring our product over, and then we have a local partner to help us to distribute.
Nice, yes.
That way it will be much faster.
At what point are you thinking of like going for other markets?
Every day.
Every day. Looking for. So do you like contact many people overseas already, or?
We do keep in touch, and we do find new partners to speak. To understand how the market works, right? Because from the data you can only see this much. And the data collections process might be a bit different than what you want, right? So we speak to the local players, and then if every one of them confirm the same scenario, then we know that what they say. We have to do our own due diligence as well. So when we want to venture into overseas, we start talking to them maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago, start engaging them to see what's the market differences. Yeah. So we have to, when we raise our fund this round, then we'll be able to go out.
Nice.
Hopefully by end of the year. Now we are having a few offers, so then hopefully all the terms are right.
And you told me about how like getting funded is like hard now because if you're not profitable.
Now investors have changed their attitude towards the investment, right? Those, in 2018 or 2016, whenever you have an idea, then it's like the valuation sky high, and then they give you money, whatever. So times change because of economic reason. Then there would require some form of route to profitability, and then they will track you from there. If you'll be able to say, you are whole to your words right now. Not about dreams, but about execution. So if you'll be able to demonstrate the execution well, then they'll be able to invest you even more. Yes. Investors are very connected here in Malaysia. There's only that many. There's not a lot of VC in Malaysia. Founders in Malaysia also are about the same. There's a lot of events, right? Each government agency will organize events to networking and then the learning program and all these things. So most of the founders that went to go over to these events and participate are usually you will see a lot of familiar faces. It's a good thing.
Did the community help your business or no?
I think it helps sometimes because you experience a similar process, but might not be the fundamentals of the business problems are the same. Sometimes the other fellow startups has already gone through that stage, they might advise you better way, better solutions. Right? So that helps. Sometimes if I have some questions about growth or anything, I just call another startup that I've seen he's doing pretty well, then I just call him out and ask a couple of questions over the phone. They're fine.
I'm sure Japanese network, they're interested in doing business in Southeast Asia. What would be like the good way to like connect with the right people here in Malaysia?
If they are looking for government officials, of course, there's a lot of government agency online, and then if they want to look for startups, local VC would be good, or me.
Sure. Is it important to connect with the government?
Not really. Not really. Depends on your objective. Depends on your intentions. If your intention is to speak to a local network, and then why not? But if you are intent to sponsor a gathering or gather the active startups, together at the same event, yes.
What would be like one of like the major problems in like the startup ecosystem here in Malaysia?
The solution wise, there's a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of great ideas to solve many problems. But the biggest problem in terms of that is I think it's funding. Funding in a way it's not about access to funding, right? Because we have a lot of government grants, a lot of VCs here in Malaysia. But we need more risk tolerance for the early stage startups. They will be much higher, and then the funding route will be much easier.
You told me about how like many startups are looking at the domestic market, but at the same time you need to be expanding to get a higher valuation, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm wondering why like not many people are like going overseas to do their business.
That's very interesting. I think Malaysian startup have a mindset of being educated in such a way that you need to be number one at some place, then only you start moving on. Unlike a lot of startups that I have come across that venture into Malaysia, expand into Malaysia, they are not that big yet. They're maybe 3 months old, 6 months old in their home country, and they start looking for expansion into another location. So to them is that the expansion is either expansion or strength. You don't have a stagnant. I mean, in business you don't stagnate. You don't go like, stagnant. You either go up or go down. Okay, so the only way to keep moving forward is that I have to keep expanding. Okay, so domestically, if you are, or even if you are thinking that okay, that's all we can do here for the time being. Okay, but if you want to go into another stage where it might be take another half a year to 1 year, then only can see a significant growth. But during that time, right, that is the toughest because you are a startup. It's very difficult for you to stay put. In a way, like you want to see like the growth as 50% growth month on month, that kind of thing, right? But in domestic wise, especially our products, it doesn't have the growth every single month. So in order for us to continue to enjoy that kind of momentum, we need to expand. But I'm sure it happens to other startups as well, right? They want to be champion here, then only they go overseas. But in the process of becoming the champion here in Malaysia, it's a long journey. And by the time you reach the champion, there's another company will take over you with a better solution, with a better skill set because they learn from your business already. So by that time, then you'll be discouraged and that kind of thing. So it's like a badminton game. If you won the first game, the second game you lost, gone.
Nice.
The third game you usually will lose as well.
You think this is changing, like this, having a global mindset from like an early stage and things like that?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully. I think you're going to start from the educations, right? From the start, I think the Malaysian government start to promote a lot of place to go.
Oh yeah.
Right, connect to Turkey, connect to Thailand, connect to Vietnam. You know the opportunity, they present the opportunity there. So I think that's a good way to educate the newer generations of startups. You know, the first thing that you do is that we're not only thinking about Malaysian market, we think about other markets as well. So after you complete that, put it into your whole business proposal, the journey. That way will be much more, in terms of how you work on the business, will be much more grand scale. But in Malaysia, if you want to get a higher valuation, as you say, you must have the plans, to go overseas.
Okay. Are you interested in like going into Japan or like having connections?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would like to explore what are the Japanese like in terms of their renting cultures, and then if we're able to meet with some of the brokers there, that would be great, and see how we can develop our product for them.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to Malaysia. And by the way, we are drinking tea.
Yeah, we're drinking tea. I'm having the raspberry. Thank you so much. It was very insightful.
Thank you.